Welcome to our Amud Yom Shir. We are learning Masechet Shabbos. Today's Amud, according to the Dirshu cycle, the Dirshu day-to-day order of Zayin Amud Aleph. I would recap, I would revise, because I think we need a bit of revision here, from Chaf Vav Amud Beis, in the bottom of the page, Ulerova de Omar. Let's summarize nice and slow. We're not rushing anywhere. I mean, we have limited time, but I'm saying it's better to understand rather than just to read, obviously. Basically, we're learning now the lochos of Tuma Vetara to do with clothes, with fabrics, with garments, fabrics. So we know that the Torah says the word beged many times. Right now, we're focusing on Tuma. We will also focus on the Godim regarding tzitzis and kilaim. Right now, we're focusing on Tuma. Beis HaMikdash will be built very quickly, Be'ezer Hashem, and Tuma and Tahara will apply. You have to know if a person has Tuma that touched a silk garment, is it or isn't it become Tomeh? So that's the issue. That's a Halacha L'maaseh. Next week, your wife has a silk scarf, nice, getting dressed for Beis HaMikdash. It was touched by a dead toad. Some people say tzav is a toad, yeah. A dead toad touched your wife's scarf. Tomei or Torah. Halacha L'maaseh, rabbis, what's going on? Yeah, this is Halacha Shir, yeah. It's not a fantasy. But now, what did we say? I'm not going now back to the Tanoim. We'll recap as we go along. Right now, let's focus on Abai and Rava. We had two machlokes, and when machlokes, machlokes or not, we had opinions of Rav Lezer, Rav Shimon. We had opinion of Rav Shimon ben Elazar, and Rabbi Shmuel. And Abaye, according to Abaye, they both said the same thing. What did they say? They said very clearly, when the Torah says beged, because it says one time regarding, it's on purpose up here, veha beged, and it talks about what? About Tuma of Negoim, right? Negoim, tzaras, applies to Bgodim, very clear, once, twice, three times it says Semer Upishtim, only wool and linen. According to Abaye, as we saw, and we will see even stronger, that teaches us for Kol HaTorah Kula that Godim that are affected by Tuma, susceptible to Tuma, are only Tzemer Pishtim. Not together, not Shatnez. You don't have Shatnez at home, hopefully. Either Tzemer or Pishtin, but any other cloth, any other fabrics, not the Kabul Tuma. It's very simple. Abai is actually the easiest one. How big does it have to be? So, in theory, we would say 3 tfochim, that's a choshev amount that everybody uses. 3 etzbos, not everyone uses. Yeah, the rich people, the more affluent people, the throwaway people, they would throw away 3 etzbos, much smaller. It's true. So maybe it's not considered a beged. We know that in Tuma Vetara, things have to be considered as a kli to become Tomeh. Not anything is Mekabel Tuma. It says Abai, that's all very nice, but because it says Veha beged, the extra letters Veha teaches me that even the things that are Sholosh etzbos are also Mekabel Tuma, Tzemer Pishtin. Very simple. And we had Kal V'chomer. I'm not repeating yesterday's shir, just saying that what we have to know for right now. Abai is very easy. What's Makabel Tuma? Tzemer Pishtim. What size? Even Shol Shetzbos. Goodbye, shalom. Finished. That's Abai. Now, and who believes in that? According to Abai, all the Tanoim. Very simple. Now comes Rava. Ularova. We're 4 lines from the bottom of the page. Chavav Amud Beis. Ularova de Omar. According to Rava, Rava believes that there is a machlokes Tanoim over here. What did he say? Shloisha b'shar begodim ika beinayu. Shloisha tfochim b'shloisha tfochim b'shar begodim. Shar begodim meaning what? Shar begodim meaning not semer pishtim. He claims machlokes Tanoim whether fabrics or let's say shmata rag or whatever, which is 3 by 3 tfochim big. Tfochim is the bigger one. Is it or isn't Mekabel Tuma when it's made out of silk, cotton, other things? That's machlokes Tanoim. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Islay. According to Shimon ben Elazar, yes, there is Tuma by other materials. The Tana de Rabbi Shmuel Leislay. Yeah, according to Tana of Rabbi Shmuel, no, other Godim are never Mekabel Tuma. Like Abaye, other fabrics are not sensitive to Tuma. According to that, that idea that other materials receive Tuma when the Shlosha Tfachim, the obvious question is, Minale, how does he know? Because the only time we saw in the Torah that Godim are mentioned and the Torah details the material was Semer Pishtim, right? So where do you invent the other ones from? Where do you take it from? It's not like we have another parsha where it says silk and wool. It doesn't. Not wool, yeah, it says silk and cotton. So how do you know? Answers the Gemara, Nafka mi oi beged. Oh, according to Rava. And now we're talking about shrotzim. In the tomb of shrotzim, the tomb of if a sheretz falls on, this is negoim, yeah, a shrotzim, a sheretz, a dead sheretz touched a beged, it says oi beged. What does oi beged mean? Yeah, the Tanya. The truth is, Rashi says, appointed yesterday, Tanya, Rabbi can't argue with. So Rashi really erases the word Tanya. So it's not a Tanya, it's a drosha the Trova said. Sometimes the Meroim also have the droshas. So Rava has a drosha, beged. It says in the Torah regarding Tumas Shotzim, a dead sheretz touched your scarf, let's say. And in a beged, maybe only beged, maybe beged means an entire garment, a whole kapite, a whole sock, whatever, a whole thing. Shloisha shloisha b'shar b'godim minayin. How do you know that shloisha shloisha b'shar b'godim? How do you know that other garments, not tzem or pishtim, how do you know that they're susceptible to receive tuma? Yeah, sh'ar b'godim. Yeah, in other materials as well. Talmud loymar oy beged. Yeah, oy beged in other begodim, things that are not tzem or pishtan. Oy beged, the word o, it's an extra word, we could have skipped it, comes to tell you that other begodim are metame. As opposed to Abaye who says no, no such thing. According to Abaye, no. According to Abaye, never, ever, ever. Anything that's not tzem or pishtim, according to Abaye, and they will stay like that, so you can rest your mind at ease. Abaye says, I'm a fan of tzem or pishtim, nothing else receives tuma. Which obviously begs the question, what will you, Abaye, do with the word oh? According to its redundant word, it's an extra word. What will Abaye do with the word oy beged? What will Abaye do with the word oy beged, which means what? It's an extra word. According to Rav, I know oy beged, to tell me that, let's say, silk is makabel tuma. But you, Abaye, you say it's not. So what do you do with the word oh? The Torah didn't write it for fun. So what's the Torah doing? Answers the Gemara, Mibaile lerabois sholosh al sholosh betzemeru pishtim demetame b'shrotzim. According to Abaye, the word "o," up until now, we assumed that we can automatically learn from the goyim to everywhere else. That says Abaye, I've got news for you, and he'll stay with it. Abaye says, excuse me, there are two areas of Tumah in the Torah. Shrotzim and Negoim. It's very different. Also, halachically, each one have very different halachas. This week's parsha, Negoim. How does a beged become Tomeh b'Negoim? Wake up in the morning, you take out your socks from the drawer, your scarf, your shirt, your, I don't know, shtreimel, whatever, and what do you see? Oh, this is green, kind of very surprisingly funny looking green stain. And it's not from yesterday's, I don't know, salad, yeah? So then, with all the halachas, it's like tsaras in the begodim. A person has a white spot in his body, a green or red spot on the beged. That's tumas negoim. That's what we spoke about till now. Tumas shrotzim, a dead sheretz, a dead animal, of the small one of the 8 ones, touched it, becomes tameh. Says Abaye, hold it. Up until now, when we said that sholosh al sholosh, the minimum amount is metame, that was negoim. This parsha is shrotzim. So guess what? It first has to tell me that tumas shrotzim is metame, not only shloisha or beged, an entire beged, but even the smallest one of sholosh. That's what it's coming to do. So according to Abaye, the word oy, yeah, we're going now to have a whole thing here. Oy is coming to tell you that gimel etzbois, the small amount of shlois, the tumas shrotzim, and not negoim. He says oy beged, it's written about shrotzim according to Rava, but it's not exclusive for there. The main idea is a shar b'godim. Yeah? Shrotzim, I wrote shrotzim because that's where it's written. Yeah, but you'll see later that that's another nekuda. The main nekuda according to Rava is that other garments are metame, not only the tzemer pishtim. According to Abaye, no. We stick to tzemer pishtim. You know what it says oy? To tell you stam. That even the smallest size, the tiny gimel tzvois, which half the population throws in the garbage, oy beged. Even that is makabel tuma, but tuma shrotzim. Yeah? So Lamaisa, according to Abaye, we have 2 psukim for gimel tzvois. One for shrotzim, one for negoim. That's what Abaye says. Okay. Now, verove. Now, according to Rove, comes the question, yeah? According to Rove, why telling me that oy is coming to shar b'godim? Don't you need the word oy for actual Tzemer upishtim? Let me repeat the question. Rove, why are you running away that oy beged of shotzim is for other materials? What about Tzemer upishtim? How do you know that Tzemer upishtim is mekabel tuma in shotzim? Maybe only in a goyim. Locally here in shotzim, I have no idea that even the basic ones, the Tzemer upishtim receive tuma. Why running away to silk and wool, to silk and I don't know cotton? Says Rove, no. Rove is now back to our original understanding. Gali Rachmon Gabe Negoim Vodin L'Shrotzim. Says Rove, no, I don't need that. Rove says one big happy family, peace and love between all types of impurities, import-export relationship that are really excellent. Just like it's not even Rashi says it's a binyan av. It's simple logic. Why should it be different? Just like the Torah told me about Negoim, Gimel its voice is metame. Okay, same thing should apply automatically for Tzemer upishtim, also in shotzim. Now the oil remains extra. The oil is coming to tell me other materials. Tzemer upishtim I learn automatically from veha beged to here beged. Same thing. For Tzemer upishtim, the oil is there to tell me even other materials, to go beyond the regular borders of Tzemer upishtim. Because remember, everyone agrees Tzemer upishtim is the basics, because that's the only materials mentioned in the Torah Mefurash. Everything else is our extrapolation. So Rava says, yes, I have the extra word I. I know already Tzemer upishtim. I know it automatically. If it says about Negoim, I will make it normal import-export like binyan av. Same applies to shotzim, from Negoim to shotzim. So why do I have to say oi in shotzim? For sharp godim. Abaye doesn't believe in it. Why not? Abaye. Now the ball is in the court of Abaye. I call it lahavdil, ping pong, Gemaras, back and forth. Now, according to Abaye, Rava makes sense. According to Abaye, why do we need the word oi to tell me into mashrotzim? Why can't you learn it automatically from the goyim? Isn't there automatic learning? No. Ikal mifrach. Says Abaye, no. You cannot automatically learn from one to the other. Ikal mifrach, one could argue and break that nice flow between the goyim and shrotzim, and could argue malin goyim sheken shtiva erev metame behem. No. Negoim have a chumrah that shotzim doesn't. Only in Negoim, and in Negoim only we know that shtiva erev, a thread, just a thread, which is not even a fabric. It's not yet, wasn't woven. It's just a thread. In Negoim, it's metame mefurish in the Torah. Look there, it says shtiva erev, weft and work. Yeah, the threads, the fibers, mekabel tuma. So you can't automatically learn, but shotzim it doesn't. It's not automatic at all. Why? Because I would say that's the Torah always works like that. When there's a chumrah in one halacha, it attracts more chumras. Birds of a feather flock together. The same chevra. When there's more kulas, there are more the other kulas, and therefore I wouldn't know it automatically. Mapitam. I would say that Negoim is a fruma. Negoim is a chumrah. It has only thread. Here thread. Just the thread over here is mekabel tuma by the Negoim. So therefore also gimel its voice. But by the shotzim, I wouldn't have known that. So shotzim needs its own pasuk, not for other godim, for Tzemer upishtim. Let's remain in the basics, says Abaye. Remain in the ground of Tzemer upishtim. Ve'idach, what would Rava say? Why do you, Rava, say it's so easy to learn from one to the other? Says Rava like that. That's a little bit hard to understand here. It's a bit of a trick, but we can manage it. Says Rava now. Is salka daitech negoim chamiri? If you think negoim are more chomor, by the way, Tosfos points out that of course Negoim are more chomor. It's a fact, because they have the threads, and Shrotzim doesn't. Rava says, although it's chomor, it does make a difference. In other words, it's not chomor. He says, who cares it's chomor? Why? If you think the Negoim are more chomor, and therefore it makes a difference, lichtav rachmon gabi shrotzim b'leitu Negoim minayu, which means, if you notice, according to you, Abaye, I'm Rava's lawyer now. According to you, Abaye, you agree to me, that the word veha beged, right, is written regarding the goyim. Why? The veha beged, everyone agrees that veha beged, is telling me veha beged, even small gimel its voice is already metam. It's a chumrah. It's a tiny one, gimel its voice. Why? If this is a more chomer one, we could have used the kal v'chomer. The Torah should have written a ribui in the goy. In shrotzim. The Torah should have written shrotzim is a lighter one. The Torah should have written, shrotzim, even gimel its voice. I'd have automatically known If the kal has a chumrah of in tiny gimel its voice, kol sheken the chomu, of course it has gimel its voice. Why didn't I write it like that? Yeah, mashma the Torah doesn't care about negoim being more chomor. Otherwise, he would have dafka located the limud in the more kal one in the shrotzim. Yeah, and I would have known kol sheken to negoim. So for whichever reason, you see that we're not relating to that as more chomor. Yeah, that's what he believes. Says Abai is a winner here. I mean, it's not a winner, but Tosfos remains in a kind of. Tosfos points out that L'choyer Rava lost the argument, but he has another. Now that's Abai's knockout. The Idach says Abaye, Negoy Mishrotzim loy also. Wrong, Rava says. You cannot learn Negoy Mishrotzim. I thought the Shrotzim are more kal, Negoy more chomur. No. One could argue that both have different chumras. Let me explain. Shrotzim also have a chumrah. Shrotzim have a chumrah, the size. How much is the tuma of a tzaras with this week's parasha? Gris. Gris is about like a coin, like the woman's kesem. Everyone's married here, so I can say. Yeah, that's like a coin. It's 18 millimeters, 20 millimeters around it. Machloikis between 18 and 22 millimeters. Depends who you ask. Yeah, I've seen it. I've traveled around. You've seen all different things. Ask your local Orthodox rabbi. That is the shear of gris. That's a big one, and only that is metame be tzaras. That's relatively big. The shaken sheretz, a piece of sheretz, a piece of dead sheretz. When I keep talking about this mouse that keeps falling everywhere, it doesn't be a whole mouse. You can have just a piece of the corpse, a piece of the body, which is the size of an adosha. Adosha is way smaller than a gris. By the way, adosha is inside the gris. In tzaras, the person has a white spot of a gris, and then inside he has michya, has good, healthy flesh the size of an adosha, then he's tummy. Then in this week in Sheni. So now says Abai, no. Abai, I'm winning the game. Why? I believe each one is a separate limud, vehabeged and oi, because simply each one has a chumrah that the other one doesn't. So nobody can teach on the other. Each one, begodim and shrotzim and negoim, each one looks at the other one as more kal, and I would have never derived one from the other about the basic halacha of gimel etzvot semer upishtim. Gimel etzvot semer upishtim, you need one for negoim and one for shrotzim. None of them could have been learned one from the other because each one has a chumrah that the other one doesn't. Negoim has a chumrah, even a small tiny thread that's not even a fabric. And shrotzim have a chumrah that even a small size of sheretz is metame, even ka'adosha. Adosha is way smaller than a gris. I think every gris has 16 of them, if not mistaken, or 30, 20, much less. Very good. So Mimela says, Abai, listen, I don't think that this word oi is really serving anything. Thus it says that even Rava didn't mean that it's only oi, it's like an asmach, it's like an extra word. Okay? But the Meister Rava, again, let's repeat, it's really easy. We are now, let's gather the information, let's summarize, because the next stop, soon comes a new step. Abaye sticks to his guns. Only tzemer, only pishtim. I'm not moving out of there. Panoi, tzemer pishtim. That's all. Yeah. And how do you know tzemer pishtim? In the goim and in shrotzim are shalosh etzvos. Each one has its own posture. Each one to his own. No import export. There's no import export between Iran and Israel. They're not friendly. Each one has his own chumrah. The begodim of the negoim have a chumrah of a thread. Even the shrotzim have a chumrah of what? Of being the kadosha, so we don't know. Each one has his own limud. Oi habeged vehabeged. Tell me that's it. Rava says no. Each one and other begodim, anything outside tzemer or pishtim, no way. The club doesn't open to any other fabrics. Rava, according to one of the Tanoim, Rava, according to Rabbi Shimon Lozo, says Rava no. Says Rava that really the word oi beged is teaching you that other materials do become tome regarding shrotzim. When it comes to shrotzim, other begodim are metame. From the word oi beged. We may have questions on Rava, but this is what Rava believes. And even if you don't have the oi beged, if you want, Tosfos says, he says, I'm reading one line from Tosfos, you can follow me if you want. The first Tosfos in the wide line, in the middle wide lines, sheken metam b'kadosho. The Rove afal gav the pircha gmurahi. Tosfos says, what does Rove do? Rove had a knockout, a pircha gmura. He says loy choshev lei. It's not pircha gmor loy choshev lei. Rava doesn't consider the question as a knockout. The loy havi legila milsa be'alma. The gal rechmon ben goyim the shol sholish kol with beged betzemer pishtim vodin b'shrotzim. In other words, Rava says that we're not looking at it as halacha. We look at it as reality. It's a reality. How can Rava learn? What did Rava do? Rava did learn from the goyim to shrotzim, right? How? It's not a halacha. It's just telling me the dictionary definition. The dictionary definition, Agdara, Milonit, of what? Of Beged, Tzemer Pishtim here, also Tzemer Pishtim there. It's not like we learned it halachically. That's the answer for all. Now let's continue. Shalosh al shalosh, במקרה. שניהם שלוש על שלוש. כן. שניהם שלוש על שלוש. כן, שני הכיוונים. Both of them Tzemer Pishtim, both of them shalosh etzbos. Absolutely. Yes, you see. I'm sorry. You're right. You are right. Sorry. Thank you, my dear neighbor. Yes, I'm sorry. You're right, because there's no room to learn shalosh. Sorry. Shlosha. Yes, shlosha al shlosha. Thank you. It's shlosha, right? And yeah, because we don't have an extra pasuk for shalosh. In the goyim, if you remember, there were two pasukim for shalosh and shlosha. In Shotzim you don't, you only have one, so you remain with Shloisha, the bigger one. Less Chiddush. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now, okay, Beseda. Omar Abaye. Comes Abaye and tells us an interesting statement. Hi Tana Dever Rabbi Shmuel. Let's refresh our memories. The Tana Dever Rabbi Shmuel, as of itself, is very easy to learn. Without details, Tana Dever Rabbi Shmuel told us that really, I recommend if you want to flip back at the beginning, Gish, of the previous Amud, it says Tanis Del Bishmal, the Torah talks many times about Bgodim, of course, Rabbi Shmuel is very easy. The Torah tells us Bgodim many times. We don't know what it means. Well, one time the Torah discovers the secret, reveals the secret. What? Tzemor Pishtim. So too, all other Bgodim are Tzemor Pishtim. End of story. Comes Abaye, Omar Abaye. Hi Tana Dever Bishmuel. That Tana Dever Bishmuel we just saw, Mapik Meidach Tana Dever Bishmuel. That Tana Dever Bishmuel is excluding, in not such nice language, it's contradicting another statement of Tana Dever Bishmuel. Don't worry, people. Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes many times you can have machloekes about what Rabbi Yochanan said, machloekes about what Rabbi Kiva said, and I remember as a bocher, there were many times machloekesim about what Rabbi Elyashiv said. He really had to go there, see what he himself said. Rabbi Elyashiv could tell you, not he himself. The people would interpret his psukim like in 4 different ways. So, Rabbi Elyashiv was known. He was very quiet and very short in his words. So people would, you had to ask him directly, or hear it from a very, very good Talmid Chacham, not from like 18 years old American bacher who went to him. I'm saying because he was very short. He was very miserly in words. He was a very Kaddish person. So here we have a machlokes, 2 opinions within Tana Dever Bishmuel. Where's the other opinion? Where's the contradictory one? Where's the meat? The Tana Dever Bishmuel. Here comes the new Tana Dever Bishmuel. Beged. It says in the Torah Beged. Okay. And we are now talking, by the way, about the Beged of the Shrotzim. Enli ela Beged Semer Upishtim. I know, as far as I know, Beged is only Semer Upishtim. That's information which are received from the Goyim, right? If you learn Parshas Negoim, this week's Parsha, only Tzemer Pishtim. Read it like I'm reading. Minayin, who? How do I know to include Lerabois, Tzemer Gmolim, the wool of the camels, not Mamish wool, but whatever the camels have, the Tzemer Arnovim, the hair of the hare, excuse the pun, or the rabbit, hair's rabbit, whatever the rabbits have, Noitza Shel Izim, the wool, it's not really called wool because it's different. Rashi says, it's called the goats, the izim. You don't shear them, you pluck it out, you pull it out. It's different. No, it's a shalizim. Vashirain vakalach vasrikin. Remember that? Shirain, kalach, vasrikin are 3 different stages of silk. Shirain is the big fancy one. Kalach is harder. Srikin is somewhere in the middle. Yeah. How do you know? Bekitzer, how do you know that the ganze, a whole other load of begodim, of fabrics are also mitame? Talmud loimer oy beged. So you see all of a sudden, Rabbi Shmuel himself, there's another Rabbi Shmuel, he does believe basically like Rava, that Oy Beged, at least when we talk about Shrotzim, where it's locally mentioned, We see Oy Beged is teaching me that really Oy Beged other begodim as well, other fabrics as well. And this is Rabbi Ishmael. So Abai is not so concerned about that. Abai says, okay, there's one Rabbi Ishmael, one. Also, Tana Devei Rabbi Ishmael is a yeshiva. In the same yeshiva can have many different opinions, right? You go to Ponevezh yeshiva, I'm sure there are many different people learning the same sugya, different ways. Okay. That's about disagreement. What happened? Rav Omar says no. Rav says something a bit more. Rav is trying to reconcile. Rav is trying to reconcile the two Rabbi Shimon and say no, they never argued. Why? Rav says like this. You know when they argue, they don't really argue. They don't really argue. In other words, you know. No, let me finish the sentence. The Artur Rabbi Shmuel, they spoke about different things. It's not a contradiction. The Rabbi Shmuel, who was in the previous Amud, the first Rabbi Shmuel was on the Torah Pishtim. He spoke about a fabric that Sholosh Sholosh, the small one. He believed that the small one, which is the bigger Chiddush, that doesn't apply to other begodim. Only Sholosh Sholosh. But Shloisha Shloisha Islay. But Shloisha Shloisha, he agrees. That Rabbi Ishmael that we saw before that said only Tzem or Pishtim, he said that only regarding the small one. But the big one, Shloisha Shloisha, he believes that does exist. Yet it is Makabal Tuma. It's less of a Chiddush. Something is Makabal Tuma, the Shloisha Shloisha. So really, everybody's happy. In other words, both Rabbi Ishmael said the same thing. Each one took a different direction. The one who said, yeah, Godim, Temer, the whole zoo, camels, hares, Shiraim, Koloch, silk, whatever you want. That was what? Then he spoke about the big one, the Shlosh Tfachim. Then it's good. Bashenk and Sholosh, it's boys. Both Rabbi Shmuels agree, and as expressed by the first Rabbi Shmuel, that other begodim are not metame. Why? He believes that that special chiddush of Sholosh Sholosh was only for Tzemer or Pishtim, but other begodim, you don't have that chiddush. That's how he's learning it. How could you say that? And by the way, Rashi points out something very interesting. What happens right now, as we're reading, that according at this happy moment, something that's going to change. So let's enjoy the fun. There's very nice kind of peace between Abai and Rava, but in different ways. Abai said, remember, the two Tanoim don't argue because they both believe that only Tzemer Pishtim. Rava is saying the other way around. They both believe, in other both Rabbi Shmuel's and Lamaisa also the first Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar. What did he say? Also that our begodim are metam b'shlosh tvachim. So according to Rava right now, all the Tanoim are in agreement that shlosh is metam b'shal begodim and sholosh not. Yes. And Abai says everyone agrees that nothing but Tzemer Pishtim. That would have been very nice, that idyllic situation, but the Gemara right away asks, no, you can't say that. Rav himself said not like that. What did Rav say at the beginning of the sugya yesterday? Rav Omar, Shlosha b'shar begodim, Rabbi Shimon, Shlosha b'shar begodim is what we just now said. Rabbi Shmuel believes is Tomeh. A big one in Shar begodim is Metameh. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Islay, Letane Dver b'Shmuel Leislay. Aye. You see that Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar holds that it's metame, and Rabbi Shmuel says that it's not metame. And now Rava is saying that Rabbi Shmuel says that it is metame, the big one in Shab Godim. And says the Gemara, Hoder beRava Mai. Rava regretted what he said. It happens by Maroim. Rava changed his mind, and Rava now believes the maskana is back to the peace and tranquility and love, as Rashi says, according to Rava. Much easier actually to remember, because now the shittas are becoming much clearer. Rava believes Rabbi Shmuel A, Rabbi Shmuel B, and Rabbi Shimon and Elazar, they all believe that. They all believe in the big O, the Oy Beged, and they all believe that other begodim outside Tzemer Pishtim are metam b'shlosh tvachim in shrotzim. They all believe in that from the Oy Beged. Abaye never changes. Abaye is Abaye. Abaye says, Rabbi Isai, Tzemer Pishtim only Tzemer Pishtim, Gimel Tzbois. Be it what? In a bite is Gimel Tzbois in both. You were right before, but not in a bite, right? In a bite, Gimel Tzbois, always. Tzemer Pishtim, always, nothing else. I mean, of course, Shlosh Tvachim, Kol Sheken. I mean, nothing else, no other materials. Shlosh Tvachim, Kol Sheken, Shlosh Tvachim, which is bigger, obviously. It's a minimum shear. Very good. It's simple. Here comes the third opinion, which is in a way easy and not. Oh, Abai Rava. Shrotzim? That's yes. Yes, because Semel Pishtim, at least locally, is written where? In a goim. And there it does exclude other begodim. Rashi says that. Rashi says that Shrotzim, one second. Yeah, he says, Rashi says it before. Yeah, Rashi says, Moidetana Deresha, there's too much Shrotzim Meshab Godim, before Rashi. Yes, I was also wondering, but yes. Because the mute, you do have to, something is Memait Beged Semel Pishtim. Rav is not koifer in Semel Pishtim. Semel Pishtim is a mute. He agrees to abide, but the mute is local, not global. There, locally in Negoim, Semel Pishtim is pushing away all others, only there. But here, Oy Beged is a new country, it's a new Metzias, it's a new reality of Shrotzim. Shrotzim doesn't owe anything to Negoim. And Oy Beged is Merabe, even other Begodim, Shlosh. Oh, Baruch Hashem, we're following. Comes now, V'boy Sema, a third way to reconcile the Rabbi Shmuel Stira. Rav Papa Amora. This is a statement of Rav Papa. Soon you'll see what Rav Papa said. In other words, that business of, again, let me now, before we go on, let's run a test in understanding. I'm not testing you. A test is an idea. When you just read, if you just read that statement, I'm reading it inside, without Rashi or without me brainwashing you. If you just read that statement, think again. Look what it says. Rabbi Shmuel says, the Torah says Godim in all kinds of places. The Torah tells you in one place Semel Pishtim, Malalan Semel Pishtim, of course Semel Pishtim. Just like in one place the Torah says Beged is Semel Pishtim, so in all other places Semel Pishtim. Does that have to be regarding Tuma? Or not? No. Think freely. He didn't say one word, Beremez, about Tuma. It's true that Semel Pishtim is written in a Tuma Parsha. But maybe that represents a whole different idea. Maybe it talks about tzitzis, maybe chatnes, maybe beged for kiddushay isha, maybe for all kinds of tznias, I don't know, all kinds of things. That's now we have to broaden our horizons. In a way, it will be much easier because now we're not so much into the shalosh and shlosh anymore. Rav Papa will broaden our horizons, saying there's no stira. This Rabbi Shmuel over here in our page clearly spoke about tuma, havada. He said everything is makabel tuma, from the rabbits and from the camels and from I don't know where. Right? That's Rabbi Shmuel. Who told he speaks about Tuma? When you read the text of the Gemara, it doesn't say anything about Tuma. Look what Rav Papa says. The Rav Papa Amoro. By the way, Rav Papa Amoro means, very interesting, that Rav Papa, I saw in the Deer Show actually on behalf of some Meforshim, I didn't look at that. Very interesting. He says Rav Papa. No. I didn't see it in the Deer Show, promise. I saw it in Toises inside. Toises in Amud Beis says something very interesting. He says that Rav Papa, was the successor of Rava in being a Rosh Hashiva. So sometimes Rav Papa would say things on his behalf. Sometimes Rav Papa said things on behalf of Rava. That's why there was confusion between Rav Papa and Rava. Rav Papa made a statement. They didn't know if it's his own idea or he's quoting his predecessor, which is Rava. So that's what said. This is Rav Papa Amora. You thought it's Rava who said it? Really, Rav Papa said it. No, but kids, what did Rav Papa say? Papa Omar, Afkol, you know what the first Rabbi Shmuel said when he said, so too, meaning so too all other begodim in the Torah, Latuya Kilaim. It's coming to tell you that Kilaim only applies to Tzemer Pishtim, nothing to do with Tumah. When it comes to Tumah, Tumah applies also to what? All fabrics. Mashe'enken, this Afkol is coming to tell me that Kilaim only applies to Tzemer Pishtim and nothing else. I had to have him, I would ever have him to say, Kilaim applies to silk and cotton. Don't mix them. Kamash Malan, Kilaim is only Tzemer Pishtim. And when the Torah says Beged Kilaim, Beged Shatnez, it means Beged of Tzemer Pishtim. Nothing to do with Tumah. Beg the Gemara, the obvious question which screams to high heaven, Kilaim? Behed Yaksiv Beilotil B'Shatnez Tzemer Pishtim Yachdov. I don't need your limud. You look at Pashas Kedoshim, Vayikra Yutes, it's if I remember right. It says what? Tzemer Pishtim. It says Shatnez Tzemer Pishtim. You don't have to learn it from some Remozim from where? From the Goyim. It says Tzemer Pishtim. How would you have a minute to say we're talking about silk and cotton? Answers the Gemara, no. I would have thought, Hani Mili Derech Levisha. I would have thought that if he just said Tzemer Pishtim, The other pasuk says lo yale beged shatnez. It shouldn't come there. I'm jumping there. There are two ways. There are two issues with shatnez. One is levisha to mamish wear it like a shirt. There's ha'ala. You don't mamish wear it. You like wear it like a blanket. You put it on you ha'alot. Yeah, like a blanket or like a shawl, like something more not mamish on your body. Yeah, like a blanket. Let's say you're not allowed to have a shatnez blanket. You're not. Even a shaila with upholstery. No, of like the deep sofas. Yeah, shaila. So now I would have thought maybe when you wear it, you only have tzemer pishtim. Aval bahalo, osu. Maybe when it comes to halo, when it comes to putting it upon you like a blanket, maybe then any of the two other types are osur, tzemer and silk and cotton and linen, maybe everything. Mimela, I need another pasuk to tell me regarding halo that halo also is only tzemer pishtim, and that I learned from the goyim. That I have to import from the goyim. Isn't it kal v'chomer? What do you mean? Of course. Levisha in a balabatish simple svara. Levisha is worse than halo. Why? Levisha, you wear it. You mamish enjoy the warmth of the beged and everything. You mamish wear it. The entire body is enjoying it close. It's tight in the body. And yet, even though it's more severe, more chomer, amar tetzemor pishtim in, midyachin aloi. And you're telling me, before in the Torah, beged tzemer pishtim lo tilba shatnez. Don't wear only tzemer pishtim. You're allowed to wear a mixture of cotton and silk. People do it all the time. Halo l'kol sheken. Halo l'kol sheken. Kol sheken halo, where it's less connected to the body. A blanket is not mamish. I'm not wearing it. It's on top of me. So kol sheken, which is more kal, of course only tzemer pishtim. Why should I have a different havamina? Ela de Rav Papa b'dusahi. Must be Rav Papa's statement is a mistake. Rav Papa never said that. Wow. It does make sense, so we erase Rav Papa. So we stay the Bayan Rav. Okay? Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak Omar, and with that we'll finish. Rav Nachman Yitzchak gives us another easy way. Again, what's the problem? Let's recap. We have an issue now with Rabbi Shmuel 1, Rabbi Shmuel 2. Rabbi Shmuel 1 said, Semu Pishtim represents Kol Kula. All the Godim are just Semu Pishtim. The other Rabbi Shmuel said, no. Not only Semu Pishtim. For Tumah, other Godim as well. Aitzestira. Answers the Gemara of Nachman Yitzchak Omar, Af Kol La'atuye Tzitzis. The words Af Kol, which means the first Rabbi Shmuel who said that just like by Negoim, it's only Tzemer Pishtim, so too in the rest of the Torah, Tzemer Pishtim. What do you mean the rest of the Torah? Regarding what? Eating on Yom Kippur? What does it mean? La'atuye Tzitzis. Rashi, as some people hold till today. The only begodim that the midoraisa are chayev betzitzis are only from wool or linen, only that. Yeah. And then comes the question. I would not go to the question now because time's up. We're quite a handful today. Tomorrow's page is significantly easier. Don't run away. And if you didn't get today, you can watch the video again. You'll get it better. I'll get the good feeling. I'll see another view on my YouTube. Makes me feel good. So, atzlacha brocha. You can subscribe to the channel unless it's a kilkul in your mind. I don't want to drag you to YouTube. Chas v'shalom if you're not there. But if you are, you're welcome to watch me. Atzlacha brocha. Thank you to everybody. And may we only see tahara and kedusha